Hey guys, so now that the rain slowed down a little, I think you could hear me better. I don't know about you, but I love rainy days, especially in this thing. The pitter-patter of the rain on the roof is very relaxing to me. Anyway, so I'm taking the opportunity that since I'm stuck inside to work on this video about the wiring in my Vardo. My water pump for the sink burnt out a couple weeks ago, and so since I had to replace that anyway, I figured I'd take the time to upgrade some components of my solar setup here. Christopher had an inverter that he wasn't using anymore because he upgraded his, so he let me have that one, and I just tidied things up a little, secured the battery some, and just upgraded my wiring in general for future use. Okay, so let's check that out. Alrighty, well, check that out. It's all gone. There are my batteries. This is where my fridge used to be. Everything's all cleaned out there. Good. And there's all the stuff, minus those two chairs, minus these two guys, everything else in here was under my bed. And the beer. And that stool. And that cooler. Look at that's a lot of stuff. A lot of storage, huh? There's boxes under there. The shoes. Cool. Prepping this area for the new installation of the batteries, where they're going to go. I'm thinking I'm going to put them underneath that shelf there. Underneath there, closest to this side. And there's the port where my solar cables come in and my LED lights come in, and I also want to run my gas, my LP tank hose through there, and drill a hole underneath my counter here, or through my counter, and have it come up on top somewhere. So this is the plan. I'm going to have the new inverter there, where the batteries used to be, and I'm going to tuck the batteries in underneath there, and then the other one there. Right now, I am going to be cutting, where did I do with that thing? Oh, here. I'm going to be cutting this strap and stapling one end to the floor here, draping it over the batteries, and then stapling the other side down, just to hold them in place while I'm driving and stuff. They're on the bottom shelf, so they shouldn't move around too much, and they're going to have stuff, you know, on either side of them. Alright, so that's a basic idea there. The two batteries there, the inverter on top. Here's the strap. I've already got it stapled in back behind it. I'm going to run it over across here, and then I'm going to run another strap around the side of it, just to keep them tucked into that corner. Let's go see what Christopher's doing with those cables. Christopher travels. How's those cables coming?
Good.
Masterfully crafted. Look at that.
Awesome.
What is this? Oh, that's a big one of those guys?
It's a hydraulic.
Oh. Look at that. Christopher, you got all the tools.
You have to get it in there and kind of set it. And then once it's in there, you make sure the cable's all the way in. And you squeeze.
And how do you know when you're done? It stops.
Squeezing? And then what I like to do is, because there's like a little pinch, so I'll turn it, see the pinch, so I'll turn it and just like take away the pinch a little bit. And then you release it. So no pinch. And then you just put up the shrink like that.
Look at that. Pull out the poor man's blowtorch. Nice. That's how you do it professionally.
There you go.
You inspire me, Christopher Charles. All right, so we're back in here, and we're gonna start making these connections here. All right, in serial.
Series.
In series. A series connection, and Christopher's gonna hold the camera while I do all that stuff. I wanted to run my cable, my solar panel cables through there again. Okay, so I forgot to film it, but I took off the first pair of alligator clips from the cable that goes to my solar panels. There they are, in place. Christopher showed me how to crimp that with this awesome tool right here. This is the good version of that crap that we buy. They sell you for $5. There's the setup for now.
So you can actually turn on the inverter, I think.
12.2, 64 something, 120 something.
So that's the voltage.
Oh,
it's outputting. Inverter working.
I know, a quiet, silent. All right, so the next step is cutting these straps and securing that, and then we have more wiring. Alrighty, so there we go. It's all strapped in. I got this strap going around the side, stapled in back there, and then this other strap stapled in down there, running over the batteries, and then stapled in the back there, and the other one is stapled in that corner. So that should be good enough for now. Next, I'm going to secure the inverter. I'm going to be taking out this old one and using the screws from that one to secure that one in there. All right, all the connections are made. Screws are in. Everything's wired. All right, so here's all the wiring here. This is for, these alligator clips are for a trickle charger that Christopher lent me. And then underneath here, these are my solar panels. This is the series connection, and then this goes to the inverter. All right, so there's that. Oh, the inverter is all screwed in there. So I've got this 12 volt inverter or converter plugged into my power strip right now. I'm going to be plugging this multiple. This is two different things, right? Oh no, this is one. I'm going to be plugging this thing into here, and then this little relay switch thing with multiple buttons for on and off. I'm going to be plugging into this, into one of them. And then, hi Olive, look who's here. And then this I'm going to mount under my counter here. Let's see if I can make this a little easier for you to see here. Then this thing I'm going to mount under my counter in approximate this fashion. And then I'm going to have my sink, my faucet plugged into one of these things, my solar lights, my LED lights maybe, and then I'll find other things to plug into this thing. All right, so two connections made. This one's for the water pump. These two are for my LED lights. I also just installed this little cable channel thing. So I'm going to run some wires in there. And let's see how that looks. Awesome. All right, so I've hooked up the pump to this first little switch here, which is hooked up to that thing, which is hooked up to that thing, which goes up there. And so now when I press this little button, water comes out again. Yay! So it works. The last part of this is to clean all this up and put everything back. Oh, daunting task. But ready? Ta-da! Looks a lot better than it used to. Christopher gave me this bottle that he's no longer using, so I'm using that as my gray water tank now instead of that clear bottle that I had. Everything's back in place. All my switches are here. Awesome. With an easy reach. This 12 volt adapter thing. My cabling. I even ran my LP tank hose. There's the inverter, the new one. There are my batteries and all the wiring. This little white thing is for my LED lights. Can you see that? I have that mounted up there. Also mounted this one here. And then that's another 12 volt adapter that this thing is plugged into. Mounted that against there. And I don't know if you can see all the cables running through that little wire, the cord thing, tangler. Cool. So yay, another project done.